Hey, 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 welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. I feel like I like always say that in the beginning. I need like hey, what's going on? Something other than that. But if you're new to my channel, like, know that I like to go deep within my readings, which means that I like to look at the spiritual blocks of shadow, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. I also want to thank everybody, by the way, for sending me positive vibes while I'm going through what I'm going through. It is crazy when you are like connected to somebody that is in like the last days of their life. It's very so doing my YouTube videos helps me stay grounded. I want to thank you for the support, the love. It's very well appreciated. And also know that eventually I will be starting to pick people for obviously the card of the video. I haven't done that in a really long time, and I haven't obviously because I have a lot of channels and I write for a TV show and I do a lot of other things. So getting to it while, like I said, I'm the main caregiver, well, it's, like I said, self-explanatory. So just know that if you do want to enter into winning a reading, that eventually I will be calling these people. So I'll go back to all those videos that I haven't gotten to because I'm going to need to keep my head busy. It's going to be my way of staying grounded. And so I'll be doing a lot of live videos. So again, thank you, Scorpio. Now, um, let's see what that underlining energy is. Again, if you want to enter into winning a reading, by the way, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. That's always the first word on the first card that I pull out. It always explains to me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Okay, let's see what's going on right now. I didn't know I was supposed to do a coaching program and no one showed up. So I was like, okay, 7:17 started at 7 o'clock. I said, let me do a video. Let me try and stay grounded. So again, I'm feeling like somebody feels like they're just trying to go with the flow of whatever is going on in their life. It's like if it's not working out, it's like just redirecting. They're letting like their intuition guide them. And I feel like this is like something that this person normally doesn't do. I don't know why I'm saying that. We're going to see. So the underlining energy is doubt. And there you go. See, this person doesn't trust themselves. So I feel like you're connected to someone that wants to come back to you, but they doubt quite highly that you're going to take them back. But they doubt everything. They doubt whether or not, they're good enough. They doubt whether or not you'll forgive them. They doubt whether or not their love really exists. This person just is very cerebral and they overthink and they have a spiritual block. So when people have a spiritual block around love, it's because they believe that they can't have love. And that happens again in childhood. Eh, you know, um, you may say, oh, it didn't. Well, again, no one can make you feel a certain way. The experiences that come into your life are so to teach you to create awareness. So you might not have been conscious of it. And you may say, well, I was always secure, but then I didn't become secure in my first relationship. So if it was your first relationship and you were living at home, then it's again why it would be associated with childhood trauma. And the reason why is because within each stage of life, we evolve. There are lessons that build on lessons. It's almost like math. So if the first connection that you have with a relationship And then obviously maybe you didn't feel comfortable talking about that with your parents. A lot of children don't. They're not even allowed to date at 15 or 14 when we were kids. So again, it's a lot that we inherit collectively. So people again have doubt, not just because again their own experiences, but what their family teaches, what collectively are is being taught. And that's why I feel like again, this person learned how to survive through very logical and analytical way. Where meanwhile, I feel like you're someone that's very intuitive. So again, this person is intuitively trying to guide them, and it's because they don't trust their mind anymore. And that happens when we're around trauma. And this is good because when a person has gone through traumatic experiences, they actually unconsciously look for those problems. And if we're really cerebral, we can again convince us that we can actually convince ourselves that we're seeing that trauma, or we will again, our behaviorisms are in alignment with that trauma, even if that trauma obviously isn't happening, because we see what we look for unconsciously. And so I feel like this person just has gotten to the point where they're like, it's not working. It's not working. You're not coming back. This person, I think, tried to manipulate. The thing is that they feel really bad because, you know, they were really happy in this connection. You make them happy. It's like they really thought that this connection was gonna be a great outcome, that that you would be very satisfied with them. There's a sense of this spiritual connection, but it was almost like it stayed in the fantasy realm. It stayed in the imagination, and this person didn't show you it. So again, like they really do feel like they're over the moon about you, but they didn't show you anything. By the word, by the way, the word of the video is doubt. So it's again what we see as a person that's in regret because they can't think their way out of this situation. So this is actually a connection that is healing, we see already. And I'm just going to say side note. And the reason why is because it moves them out of a fear-based consciousness from the past traumas into the present moment, which is I have to like listen to my intuition, which is the first step to a person learning how to trust themselves, because when you act on your intuition and you get a good result, that's what teaches. And so again, this person knows intuitively the first thing, that mistake that they made is they didn't show you anything. They didn't tell you like how much you make them feel happy, like that they feel comfortable in a connection. This person normally doesn't feel comfortable in a connection. Instead, they made it like they were always looking for somebody, always looking for someone better, never satisfied. And that's the irony. They're like, I was really satisfied with you. Like, or I can see how I would be really satisfied with you now. But when they had the opportunity, they were always looking for someone else. And I feel like obviously you confronted them and then this person would get triggered. It's again like, and if you were to like go out with your friends or to like to do anything like kind of made you have your own like individuality, kind of, it made this person like it triggered them, almost like I feel like this person doesn't really have a life. I feel like they tend to be a loner. And so when you show that you have friends and then you can take care of yourself and that you're interactive in life, that you show that you're strong within yourself, it actually triggers this person. And I feel like you felt like they would confront you on matters that were like stupid, like things that somebody that's secure, someone that's confident wouldn't do. And they would say things to like try to intuitively feel you out instead of just directly ask you a question. So there was never a feeling of being able to be transparent with this person because this person was never really transparent with you. And that's what, there was always a sense of, you being afraid that they're going to confront you, them always seeing whatever you would say to them was confronting, which is again a lot of projection. So when a person has a lot of spiritual blocks towards love and they get in their own way, this is a prime example of it. It's like they see like a regular conversation as confronting, very like aggressive, but it's again if they weren't doing anything wrong, they wouldn't see that. So again, there's part of them that wants to be rebellious, like they're really afraid of commitment, but they're not going to say that they're afraid of anything. Instead, they're going to come across as rebellious, like wanting to like create a facade of strength, a facade of like almost like it's so masculine, like energy. And it doesn't mean again that you're dealing with a man either. It could be again, it's that trait of like of ego, of no emotion, of I can't show you emotion. I'm not going to show you emotion because again, that would make me feel weak. Yeah, if I'm seeing again, like I am strong, so I am emotionless, which is ridiculous because it actually means that you're not strong. People that can withstand pain and push through it show perseverance, where it's not rebellious to, again, and this is the psychological reversal, how this person gets involved, like gets in their own way. And then again, that's not really their nature. So they withdraw. There's a sense of, again, a depression there. And a depression because this person feels like they don't really fit in anywhere. They always feel like one arm's longer than the other, you know, like the square peg trying to fit into a circle hole. Like they just, and that's again comes mainly from childhood inadequacy, feeling inadequate, feeling defective, feeling not good enough. These are the energy. And a lot of times when we have root chakra imbalances, so I feel like, again, that from this person's childhood. And I say that because when we learn how to deal with our problems in isolation, it's like we withdraw from everyone, right? It's the way that children learn how to deal with their problems. So this person, I feel like, always wants to, because they don't have a strong sense of self, they always try and create a persona, and that persona isn't of their true self, higher self, and that's actually what sabotages the entire connection. So this person continues to live in this karmic loop of really, again, feeling inadequate. But what does that really symbolize is that they don't really feel that they can have love down on a deep level. Now, you may say, I don't give a shit. It's again because this person did play a lot of games. Yeah, because again, part of them is that, like, again, because of closed heart chakra. So to let you in, it's like, no, you're gonna have to actually jump through hoops and continue to prove yourself because they feel inadequate, but they're not gonna come across as inadequate. It's gonna come across like more like self-righteous, right? And always make you feel like then when they were broken or there was something wrong or it's again they needed something, you're supposed to be there to pick up the pieces, It's like, so always getting the crap end of the relationship. It's almost like putting you like in like a Madonna status. And that's like where you're like, there's a mother wound there for this person. So because there is, it's like they continually cheat and they shouldn't continually go from one relationship because they're not building on a true self. Can't build a relationship on a facade, on a mask. Eventually, uh, people are going to find out everything's a lie then, and that's what I feel like this person, like, just spends a lot of time creating illusions, to keep up that facade instead of really taking the time to create themselves. And that's because there's a way of almost like scared stupid. That's how it's a root chakra imbalance. And that's this person is overthinking. And that's how they sabotage themselves. And I also feel like when they have the chance a lot of times to be in a connection with you, that you feel like they may be there, but they're not there. Like sometimes you feel like they've checked out. And so I feel like this person has a lot of like trauma. And when a person has trauma and they haven't healed, they know what has happened, but they don't have a feeling towards it. So there's detachment and there's disassociation disorder. When a person detaches, it's when they're physically there, but mentally and emotionally they're connected to someone else. So they have a major intimacy issue, which is trust. And that comes from not trusting themselves. So it's a whole thing that when you try to love this person, I feel like can gloat in the fact that you have feelings, but they're never going to show you feelings. They're always going to downplay. And then again, want to come across superior, wants you to, like I said, chase. So it was like a constant, like, like constant disappointment, and that bit, which is very wearing on your adrenals because it's tiresome that like this person I feel like would bring you up and then bring you down and bring you up. And it's how like a narcissist trains people, like I said, through their games, right? So I have to say, words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I fear talking to you. So it's again, they have avoidant attachment issues. And again, that comes from the mother wound of being judged, could have been either completely spoiled and, but still judged, and also that mother wasn't emotionally there for them, didn't protect them. So I feel like this person isn't grounded like within themselves at all. And that's what I had felt with the childhood trauma. I feel like I don't deserve your love. Again, what did I say? Root chakra imbalance. This person doesn't have a good sense of self. We know that. So they're like, I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. They don't really have a person. They've made up in their mind who they are. And that's from their past experiences that mainly never really worked out. If we have really severe root chakra imbalance where we inherited stuff from our ancestors, and that means our immediate family that we grew up in, we were taught their habits, their behaviorisms, how they get in their own way. This person doesn't know how to heal themselves to stop that, ancestral generational karma. And so it's not that they don't want love, they want love, but they don't believe that they're deserving of love. So unconsciously, they continually get in their own way. And not that this matters when it comes down to if you want to be in the relationship with this person or not, but understand they're broken. they're broken. If they don't love themselves, they can't love you. So it doesn't mean that in their mind that they don't think that they love you, but it's going to be more of a narcissistic love because this person is looking at you as like looking at you for a lot of other things. And instead of what, now it doesn't mean that they don't perceive that it's love. Again, but in order to really know that it's love, you have to really embody, the connection. You really have to live the connection and not like keep it up in the 3D where it's like, come chase me, chase me, where this person abused the relationship. It's again, they're living fantasy, like basing things on the past, like when you first met them before all this shit happened. And so again, roadblocks, of course, like it's like what they see is it's like nothing but challenges in their life. It's like, and that's because they get in their own way. They get in their own way. They create these unconscious barriers. So when we ask, what is this person going to do? Well, what they're going to do is they're going to overthink. And that's what they're going to do. And that's going to make them go into that fight, flight, or freeze. And that's when they get stuck in stupid and they're not going to do anything. They're going to wait for a miracle. It's again, but they're curious. And I feel like there's a part of them that is, again, feels like they're going down the rabbit hole, right? It's like, which is, they don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Instead, what they want to do, which is where they will overthink, 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 overthink. One thing leads to another thing, leads to another thing, leads to another thing. So I feel like in that it creates a lot of anxiety and it creates an awakening. It creates a spiritual awakening in this person, right? Because they don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but they can't help it. That's how they train themselves in childhood to deal with stress. And this person, again, has feelings, but you didn't play things out the way that they perceived that you would, which I don't know why this person actually thought that, by giving you less, that you were going to give them more. But there's a sense that that's the way that they were raised. So again, that's taught behavior. And it's not, when we logic it, it doesn't make sense. But it's very immature behavior, but that's also taught behavior. So where again, for a long time, there was a sense of this person thinking that they had a lot of options. So they also know that they wasted a lot of time. But you are their preference. There are many options, but I believe that you're their preference. And they know that they can't find anyone better. They just know that they have to they just know that they have to change and they want to change. And right now it says it's very likely that they're going to like contact you because they said what are they going to do? Is it do they have feelings enough to like do anything at this time? If for those of you that want to know, there's a sense that they're, this situation is actually making this person heal, making them become more present, become more grounded. They're becoming more disciplined. It's like, even though you might say like a person, well, people again heal for love. It's it's where it starts, especially when people again don't really volunteer to like do healing, right? When people don't really volunteer to do the healing, it's because they don't know that they need healing, right? So what winds up happening is they get connected to somebody and, you know, things don't play out the way that they want, and then they have regret. So, which is what I feel like this person, when they had you, they weren't with you. They did chose not to be there. Even when they were there, they still weren't there. For those of you that actually got that much out of them, where otherwise I feel like this person like just had very immature energy, but it's also not just immature energy, but that because they were wounded and how they were raised, it's on top of it really like a lot of ego, a lot of ego. So for them to actually uh learn how to go with the flow, learn how to become more present, learn how to become more grounded. That's again what they needed to do. And I feel like for you dealing with this energy, you too also had to become more disciplined in yourself, because there's a lot of things that this person could trigger you emotionally, when it's a spiritual connection. So this person like is figuring things out, like I said, and that's like I said, they're finding their way. It's new territory for them to actually come back and apologize and actually look at their behavior. Obviously, they've been walking around with these wounds since childhood, but they're making their way back to you. They have to say why. Why? It's like because they see that you're working to create change and they're proud of what you are accomplishing and they want to work on a mission with you. So there's a lot of twin flamey energy there, and that makes sense. And then it says our union energy needs clearing. Repeat this. Oh my God, I think I need new glasses, or I need to clean my glasses. Um, repeat this slowly with deep breaths. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Again, these were the way that we reparent. So this person is being made to reparent themselves. And the way that they're going to do it is through, again, you, because they do have unconditional love for you. See, when we have unconditional love, we can't help it. That means we can't help it. There's no ownership. There's no expectation. I just love you. And so this person is surrendering their ego. And part of that is, again, to reparent. It's a divine connection. And I obviously, if it's saying that you need to say it too, and it's a twin flame relationship, we're going to see why you attracted this person into your life, because it's a divine connection that's making you heal those deep-seated inner child wounds. I'm beginning to focus on my mission, and our connection is part of that. This journey is teaching us one important thing: patience. Again, patience. That you didn't have parents that were patient with you is what I'm feeling, and this person certainly didn't. So again, we see this when I look into your eyes. I see the universe, and it activates me. It's almost like your breath to this person. So what we see here is a lot of spiritual energy. The divine has their hand in this connection, because again, this person wouldn't volunteer to do healing. Again, he's using you as the catalyst. Again, making this person surrender to their ego. And by acknowledging what they did, which is, again, something that they've never done before. Again, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Again, when we grow up with parents that are unforgiving, they put shame on, then we feel that we're not lovable. And we get in our own way, and this person continues to get in their own way, but instead they wanted to walk away from you. They didn't realize what they had when they had it. Innocence, first part out. Now, I don't think that that's a negative thing to be innocent. I actually think that it's a positive trait to be innocent. And the reason why is because it means that you look through the lens of a clear lens. You don't look through like your wound. And so I feel like this person kind of misjudged you for your innocence. And I feel like your family kind of did that too, and almost robbed you of your innocence. That made you feel like, again, you couldn't trust at a very young age. And that could just because your parents were codependent and they were teaching not to trust through how they treated each other. And a lot of times these inherited behaviorisms are unconscious. Like, it's not that our parents tried to do that, obviously. It's just what winds up happening because they're not conscious. So again, we're the age of Aquarius. So again, we're evolving into the highest state of consciousness, which is unconditional love. So we have to awaken to these higher levels of consciousness by paying attention to how we act, to become grounded, like in this story with this person that's making them do it. So I feel like it's because of your innocence that this person actually has the courage to come back to, because there's a sensitivity. There's a sense of that you won't judge them, that they do feel safe. You feel like home. They have love for you. They actually don't care, actually, even if you are going to judge them. And that's something that this person's ego usually does not like put themselves in situations that they're gonna, again, that the mask comes off. They're willing to take off the mask with you is what this sounds like, which is good because guess what? I feel like you were made to feel like shit about yourself. You were belittled when you were, again, growing up. So there was a sense of your innocence was robbed because you were taught not to love yourself. Again, when our parents belittle us, they don't make us feel safe. And then we don't understand that because our parents are supposed to love us. So what happens is again, we see it as judgment. Now, I feel like this is what you and your person have in common. The twin flames, again, have the same wounds because they grew up in the same type of family dynamics and they played the same roles. They're mirrors of one another. That's what the twin flame relationship is. But through the passion of not being able to walk away, it's like they're catalysts for each other because they have gifts where the other has their wounds and vice versa. So the act of passion, fire, and then the act of doing, what we saw here is this person keeps saying, I feel like my mission has something to do with you. My mission has something to do with you. You're part of my future. You're part of my future. I see you in my future. I see whatever you're doing, I'm doing it. We're going to do something together. Now you might be like, the fuck we are, but this is what this person thinks. And they're going to try to do everything to try and win you over, which again, to show you your value. And it's because, again, there's a sense of that energy, again, that I feel like that masculine energy that needs to be integrated, where it's, again, grounded, and also that mother wound. So it's not just that mother wound, it's the father wound too, which is that masculine energy of coming through, giving the fire, but then also that soft energy of wanting to be vulnerable, wanting to create true intimacy, where intimacy is based on trust. And when we have, again, betrayal in our childhood, there's that trauma that continues to play out where relationships don't work out. And it's always that the person feels like they are betrayed in their relationships. And this is exactly what you feel too, again, because you grew up in the same type of environment. So you wouldn't be able to heal it because you have blocks where you shouldn't. And so does this person, but you both heal each other. Now, it also might mean that you got to surrender your ego too, because again, it's not one size fits all. It's like literally everybody has their triggers and their wounds. So for this person, it was actually to come back and apologize and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like they couldn't say it. They just can't they have a real hard time saying those words. Please forgive me. And it's probably because at one time this person tried to apologize for something and the parents said, that's not good enough. And so again, that person's like, well, I'm not going to apologize from here on out. And I'm also not going to show any vulnerability. And I'm also not going to show any emotions. And I'm going to show like I don't care because I'd rather take that persona on. I'd rather take on that I'm rebellious and strong. And again, even if I'm not, so understand this person would overcompensate second chakra imbalance. They didn't know who they are, which makes it very hard for them to go with the flow in a relationship, especially when they don't have a good, strong sense of self. So Again, and we all know why. Again, for you, again, why you attracted this person. Again, what we see here is anchor. So anchor means that there was no anchor in childhood, which is lack of roots. And that could be just didn't feel connected to your family. You might have been the black sheep. Again, like what's wrong with you? Why do you like that? Why do you want to dye your hair purple? Why do you want to, date that person? Why do you want to, wear those clothes? Why do you want to just don't feel safe? Again, intimacy issue. It also could mean no, there really wasn't a father figure present. There was no support. Or if there was, that person was not, didn't make, like I said, didn't make you feel safe. So, which obviously, if you were belittled, again, or seen as belittled, that would understand why that would keep you up in your head as a child and be in a place of survival too, of feeling not good enough, feeling inadequate. And that's why, again, if we're feeling inadequate and we're overthinking in childhood, then this is where these wounds come from. We never learn how to integrate them. So this is where the divine gets involved. This is where the universe conspires to bring you everything what you need. So this is why you can't walk away from this person. This is why this person can't walk away from you. Because again, the divine has their hand in it, because they say, both these people are like, they're fucked. Meaning they're both going down the wrong way on the intersection. And we have to make them, again, go on the right way. Because again, there's disassociation, which is what I said, which is where you know what happened. You just don't have emotion towards what happened. So you don't really, you're detached. It's again, so it's very easy to be in that astral realm in the mind, where I felt like, again, that twin flamey energy, which is, you know, that that in the beginning, like I said, this person was like saying in the fantasy almost, where again they have a habit of overthinking, like going down the rabbit hole, right? And so they again see nothing but roadblocks, and possibly you might even see roadblocks within this connection. It doesn't matter, the divine's involved, because it is a twin flame connection to help you both heal disassociation, which is, I know what happened, I just don't really care. I don't care, or there's pieces of the situation that I don't actually remember because I don't have a feeling towards it one way or the other. So the energy is no longer suppressed where you're consciously doing it. It has become repressed. But understand, in order for it to become repressed, you had to have formed some sort of addiction or some sort of escapism where you overbuy. You might smoke a lot of weed. You might drink a lot. You might find yourself in a lot of relationships. You might, like I said, overshop. I knew one person that had like 8 shirts in the same type of shirt. They just overbought. It comes out within both of your behaviorisms at this time. And that's the inherited karma. That's the sabotaging karma. That's where shame actually comes from. So in order to break this ancestral karma, it would have to be a twin flame relationship, which is like, it's outlandish that this person just comes back out of the blue. Come on now. Bullshit. Whereas spirit says, no, 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 it's really not bullshit. It's because I have to get involved. Because again, everyone's down on the physical plane to learn that they're not separate from God, from unconditional love, by becoming the expression. So again, we see that through the soul's purpose, that this person, like, I know I have to do something with you. I know the mission. We're on a mission together. And there's a sense of you that's, I feel like you're in a place right now that you're like, fuck that. I'm annoyed, but spirit saying, yeah, but you're not going to stay mad, because you can't stay mad. And that's, again, unconditional love. There's a sense of having to reparent yourself is triggering, because it's like, no one did this for me and I'm expecting you to do it, but I have to fucking do it for you. And spirit says, yes. Like, just the same as if you don't feel good about yourself, go out and do charity. Wait, I want someone to give to me. The fuck is this? And Spirit says it doesn't work that way. It's again, it works the other way. So understand healing doesn't feel good. So that's why you get someone that you're crazy, hot, and passionate about. Because it's all about returning to the heart, that Spirit says. Everything returns to the heart. Your heart chakras are blocked. And they're blocked, and the Spirit says, and I know that they're blocked because these behaviorisms to help you stay detached and disassociated from the pain, from the suffering that happened in childhood. So it says, I breathe light and stick to the essentials for my soul. The present moment, in the now, I calm my thoughts. I focus on my heart. So again, when we put our focus on the now, it's we can overcome anxiety and depression. Only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing, because the Holy Spirit's inside of you. So again, God says, back to the present moment, not from the traumas of the past. Again, this is going to be difficult. So it's going to take trust and surrender, and this person already fucked things up. So it's like, now I got to forgive you and trust on top of it. It's like, I don't want to. And it says, and the Spirit says, now repeat after me. I focus on my heart and find space to be where my light and greatness are. I find peace in my inner silence. Because again, everything returns you back to the higher self, the God part of self, learning what unconditional love really means when you were brought up in environments that was not what was taught to you. That Spirit says, if you don't fix the connection, the addictions, or whatever you're doing that's creating a lot of anxiety, and anxiety, again, the behaviorism, might be sabotaging. That's usually what it is. So again, if you have barely any money and you go out and you buy 100 shirts, that's, experience saying, what about your future? You know that you need to be doing something about that. It's coming out in a different way. It's blocking your creative vision, your second chakra. Again, your unique individuality. You're still walking around with shame. You still think that you're whatever you were brought up with. So I need to clear you out. So again, the passion. We gotta ignite that kundalini so it can pierce through those blocks. And it's not an easy thing. It's like, it's not just an awakening that happens. Like this person is awakening and leading them back to like source. But it's a time, again, for you to even awaken to your true potentiality by walking it, by embodying it. So I'm going to leave that there. Scorpio, you let me know how you resonate. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.